Hi, everybody. Welcome to All Things Spiritual. I am Kimberly Galloway Gordon, and I am an angel channel, intuitive medium, and angel teacher. And you are?
Hi, everybody. I am Mark, and I am a crystal empath. And welcome.
Awesome. Hi. Today, I'm so excited because we are going to talk about angel communication, which is one of my favorite things to talk about. So I'm going to try to keep this very kind of short as possible, but I love angels. And I have been talking to angels since forever. I just didn't realize I was communicating with them until about 10 years ago. And so I'm so excited because I like to share how you can get in touch with your own angels and how they help us in our everyday lives. And it doesn't matter what denomination you are, what faith base you are, every single person has angels because they are non-denominational, egoless beings that God sends us for help.
I just want to say that I was trying to jump in there, but like it's the topic that we're both very, very excited to talk about because, you know, we actually do hear angels almost all day long, right, Kim?
Oh, I hear them all day long, all night long. I've set some really healthy boundaries with mine, so they don't interrupt my sleep. But I know from experience, when your angels are trying to get your attention, they're going to keep nudging you and nudging you and nudging you until you get to where you need to go.
And we typically feel that nudge in our gut. You know, it's a lot of times like, you know, we have that gut feeling, and that's like your angels talking to you because they have voices, but the thing is, a lot of us, we don't listen to the voices. We don't hear the voices, right? You know, we don't hear them.
It depends on who you are. You know, for me, I always heard voices, and I couldn't always tell which was my voice or which was their voice, but I always had voices in my head. So I feel a lot of people have their angel's voice in their head. They just don't understand it or recognize it as that. And so I always tell people, if your voice in the head is nudging you to a place of love and growth and your highest and best good, those are your angels talking to you to keep you safe. If it's fear-based, then those are your own thoughts and that you need to disregard them. That's how I know the difference now.
And also, you know, angels are the voices that, you know, we hear when it does something out of the comfort zone sometimes,
right.
You know, and I was thinking about this is that like, sometimes we might be in a hurry to go to a meeting or something like that, and we open a door and there's someone come behind us, you know? So you have that voice in your head saying, no, hold the door open for that person, you know? So that's a nudge. And that's like an angel talking to you. But then the other side is the other nudge, right? Which like you have this meeting, you're running late, you can't, you know, a little bit behind, and not to open the door.
Right.
So you hear those voices.
Right.
And those are your angels talking to you, right?
Angels, yes. And every single person has at least 2 guardian angels that they're born with, and then before they pass away. So your angels are constantly protecting you, leading you on your path, helping you find your soul's purpose, all these things. And the way that they communicate with you is that they will leave you signs and synchronicity that they're around you. So repeating numbers, butterflies, feathers, dimes. You'll get maybe a song in your head or a song on the radio that gives you a message. You might hear your name out loud. You might hear your name being called. Those are all your angels trying to communicate with you.
Yeah, there's so many different ways, even in people. You know, like if we see people, like all of a sudden people come up in our lives and you wonder, you know, why did that person come into my life? Why did that person do that? It could be something very mean to someone cutting you off or whatever, you know, like why did that person do that? Like always a message or something like that. Because that person cutting you could have prevented you from getting to an accident or something like that. You don't look at it that way, you know? And everybody's driven by their own internal angels, help them do their own thing as well.
Right. Everybody is kind of going through life through synchronicity. So your angels communicate through synchronicity. So everything that happens, all the signs, everything is a message from your angels leading you on your path. But what happens is, 1, we don't take action when we're being nudged to do something, or 2, we don't recognize the signs because we're too busy with our lives or in our head or on the phone or, you know, talking to other people that we don't always recognize the signs that they're leaving for us.
Because with every positive, there's a negative. And there's a negative force out there. Actually is that negative dark voice, and it's actually louder than the angel's voice.
Right.
And you know, and it's distractions. It's like, you know, anger, all these different negative feelings that get us distracted, take us away from the things we want, and we get more and more. It's stronger, this negative voice, right?
I call it your ego. I call it your fear-based voice, your ego. So when that happens, it's very, very hard to hear the voice of God. Because so many people ask me, well, why don't you just ask God yourself? Or why don't you just ask God for help? And I said, that's an excellent question. And you can ask God for help. But what happens is when we get scared or when our vibration goes so low that we feel like we don't have any hope or feel like we don't believe, it's very hard to hear the voice of God. So that's why he sends the angels to give us a sign to help us so that we can move again, towards his love, towards where we're supposed to go. And your angels cannot help you unless you ask. That is so important, because your angels and God will never interfere with your own free will. So you have to ask them for help before they can intervene in anything that you do.
And in order to ask them for help, you have to actually believe in them as well.
Right.
You know, because you just can't ask or pray to God if you don't believe in God and just doing it because you're doing it. A lot of people pray for things and just pray, but not actually put any action behind it, which is having the faith.
Right.
You know, like, you have to have faith in something. And, you know, God does talk to us. God talks to everybody, but it's like, you know, Kim was saying, and through angels. Angels are the voices of God that are coming directly for him, and they're for our own benefit, our own good.
Right.
And the thing is that, like, we had this, like I said, this negative inclination to want us to think about the negative things, the worries, the fears, which is actually sometimes overpowering. Like, you might be in debt and something like that, and, you know, might be losing your job, you know? The scary time. Right. But on the other side, if you let go and go through the process, because everything comes from God. So if you go to the process, listen to your angels and doing the right thing, you'll see there's always a blessing underneath all hardships. Right.
And at the end of it, there's always a blessing. And, you know, our last few shows, we talked about divine timing in our first one, and we talked about intuition in our second one. And now we're talking about angel communication, because they all go together, because your angels are conspiring with God, the universe, source, to bring you all the good things in your life. But what happens is, when you're being guided to do something, you have free will of whether or not you want to do it or not. Or when you get scared and you feel like you have to do everything on your own, sometimes we don't ask for the help. And then that's when, you know, kind of the problems start. And for me, like, when this concept first was introduced to me, I'm like, you're crazy. Angels don't help you. I mean, I always believed in angels, but I didn't think they would, like, come out and help you. And I tested it. You know, I asked them for help, you know, finding a parking space, and I found a close parking space. I asked them for help finding shoes. I found the pair of shoes I was looking for. So I tell people, trust it and test it and see what happens for you.
Yeah, again, Kim put a very valid point. You know, the parking fairy angel actually exists. You know, if you believe it or not, a parking angel, you know, like, I mean, I don't really have to worry about finding a parking spot. I can literally count on getting a parking spot pretty close to where I'm actually going to. And it's, you know, so I would just say, try it, you know, put it out there, you know, and just, you know, testing yourself. But, you know, it sounds kind of silly, you know, but angel, you know, parking up. But actually, a lot of people that do this, that actually can believe in it, actually is true.
Right. It's very true. And the thing, too, is that, again, there are things that I've asked my angels for help with that has not happened yet. And so when I lose my patience, because I am not a very patient person, that's something I'm working on, I have to affirm divine timing. I have to look for the signs that they give me, so I don't lose faith and I don't lose hope, and I keep moving on to where they were getting me to go and not give up. And that's the really secret of it, is you can ask for help, but don't dictate how they're going to help you, because it could be far better than what you ever imagined.
Yeah, so don't give up on your dreams or your goals or aspirations. You know, the whole thing is that your angels will guide you through the process. If you know what you want and you're very firm about it, and you have absolute certainty, if you're certainty about it, about whatever it is that you want, a new job, a new career, a house, whatever it is, whatever desire you have, as long as you have absolute certainty about it, your angels will guide you through the process, and they'll guide you in voices, people, circumstances. You have to be open to that, because sometimes it's not always going to be the easy way. You might have to go through struggles.
You might have to work.
You might have to put some, you know, work into it, you know. Manifestation and everything like that, God working through your life through angels and everything like that, is a process. And it's not a matter of just things that's happening right now. It's a matter of going through this process. Sometimes it's painful. And it's going to be very painful at times. You might just want to give up. There's a dark force. There's a saying, you know, what is this? Why are you suffering for? Whatever path you got to take, whatever stuff you're going to go through. But, you know, you have to have faith and listen to the angels, because, you know, if you don't listen to angels and you keep on denying them, God's going to reach you somehow. And when God reaches you, you're the one that happens is going to be in your health directly, right?
Well, you know, I always tell people, you know, again, the universe, your angels, God, they always are trying to get your attention. Sometimes it has to be through, you know, a health crisis, or sometimes it has to be through, you know, maybe a job loss or something like that to get you where you need to go. So it's really important, again, about thinking positively, looking positively, and again, asking for help when you are struggling, or when you're in that fear-based place that so many of us face every single day, to ask for their help. I cannot tell you how many times a day I ask them for help with things, and I still forget to ask them for help. And when I don't, I'm like, why didn't I ask them? Because it took me a lot longer to figure out if I had just asked them to begin with. And so again, what happens too is, a lot of times when your angels are trying to get your attention, they are not going to stop. You might feel a pressure in your head. You might start getting headaches. You might start getting nauseous. You'll see license plates with messages on them. So you have to pay attention, because that's how they're getting the signs to you. And a lot of times we're stuck in a place of wanting change, or we're stuck in a place where we want to move forward in our lives, but sometimes we're afraid. And when we're afraid to move forward, that's when our angels step in to give us the signs to say, yes, it's time, but we have to be willing to take that action towards our dreams and what they're wanting us to do with our lives.
So you have to, basically the process of this is like actually paying attention and listening, to whatever message you're getting, because we are going, like Kim said, like very eloquently, basically, there are going to be times where things can be really dark, in your life.
Yeah.
We all go through those really, really dark times, and your angels are walking through the process of like getting through that. But what makes that process harder is like this dark force or whatever, this negativity. Right. And says to you, has you doubt, whatever crisis or whatever it is that you're in, that dark force gets louder and louder. The angels, though, they're guiding through the process, and they're quiet, right. But you have to listen to them. But then you start feeling things in your body, because right. You're starting to internalize everything, and
right.
Ulcers, like heart attacks. Yeah. This is all your body, resisting the message for the communication, giving into the dark forces. We give into the dark forces. We give into them. And sometimes it's easy to give into to the negativity. You might have very bad news about something. There's some delivers you very bad news or whatever, God forbid what it is. And you're like, oh my God, and you start focusing on that. And if that's that negativity, because then it has you doubt in God. But your angels are saying, there's something good coming out of
right.
this. Look at the positive.
Right.
And a lot of people that get through these hard times, they actually give into that positive forces right. from their angels.
Right.
And they listen to them.
Right.
And they fight through it. People fight through really hard times of crises. And a lot of times the darker it is or whatever it is, and you stick to the faith, because that's what we always talk about, is having faith.
Right.
Angels always want you to have faith. And that's God saying to you, have faith. And you could turn around anything. You could turn around your whole entire life, right?
Yeah, I did. When I first was introduced to really being able to channel them, because I didn't even know I could channel angels. And now that's what I teach people how to do, is channel them and teach them how they work in our lives and the message that they have for people. I didn't know I had this ability until I was much older in my life. And now I talk to them all day long. I ask them questions all day long. So when I hear a yes, it's a yes. When I hear a no, it's a no. And sometimes I'm not even sure. And so that's when I have to go to meditation. That's when I have to get quiet. That's when I have to write down what they're telling me, so that I know it's their voice and not my fear guiding me into rushing into situations that aren't good for me, because I'm not being patient, or I'm not listening to the guidance that I'm being given. And I've done that numerous times where I didn't listen. And, it led me further down the path of when I should have done it to begin with, that it would have been a lot quicker, my result that I would have received.
Meditation is important to communicate with angels. Like I said before, it's like just a matter of quieting your mind for a few seconds. Mm-hmm. You can be 10 seconds, 30 seconds, for how long you can. Mm-hmm. Try to quiet your mind for 10 seconds and listen to nothing, the stillness, and quiet all your thoughts. And you can feel your angels inside of you. You could definitely feel the positive wave of their energy inside of you, and they do exist. Mm-hmm. If you doubt that they exist, have doubt in it, but try it out. Try out the Parker thing. Try it with Parker, because the angels will guide you through your life. And like Kim said, she felt inside of her she had this gift. We all feel this certain thing. But the thing is that we don't go after it, because it's the other side that has a doubt and feedback from everybody else. It's not yours, and you listen to that, but you feel inside of you. And if you don't go after your dreams, you're gonna feel it, in old, when you're later in life. But there's people out there that when they listen to their angels and they go after their dreams, they're always thinking God, right?
Yeah, and you think with angels too, is that again, they're always leading us to our highest and best good. They're always giving us direction, and you can ask them questions. You can ask them a yes, you can ask them a no, and you'll be able to hear the direction that they're trying to give you. But just test it. And for me, the angels' energies felt safe. So when I was developing my gifts of being a channel, of talking to deceased loved ones, all those things, their energy felt safe to me, and I know that everything I do is divinely guided through them. So my soul's purpose is to help people, give them messages, introduce them to their angels, help them understand that they're around them, and teach them how to trust their intuition and find what their passion is through, you know, their life purpose. And so since I've met my angels, since I've developed a relationship with them, my life has been so much better. One, I don't think I'm crazy anymore. And two, I feel the energy and I feel safe when I'm channeling the information that they're giving me. So if anything else today, start with your angels. If you have spiritual gifts and you know you feel things or you hear things or you see things, you know, start asking your angels for help so the energy feels safe to you, so you can really tap into those intuition gifts that we all have.
Yes, trusting your intuition, which we talked about last week, and listening to your angels and actually taking those positive actions, and you'll start seeing results. You know, I'm listening more and more. I'm listening to the positive voices in my life, and positive things are happening. Another thing also is that, you know, like to follow your angels or whatever. Just have that belief that something exists, they do exist, and then put it to the test. You know, quiet your mind. So meditate. You know, whatever. You know, just before you make a decision or whatever.
Right.
Just pause.
Right. Pause.
And then listen, and then hear where it's coming from. Is it coming from? Is this making me feel good?
Right.
It made me feel bad.
Right.
And really pay attention to that. You know, you get an unexpected bill, like, you know, it could be expensive car repair. You weren't expecting it. But feel where the feeling's coming from, because there's always a good in every bad.
Right.
You know, they exist hand in hand together. So just figure out what it is and listen to your angels and just pause. Pause before you react. So just don't go right into reaction mode.
Right.
Just pause before cursing, complaining, whatever you do. Pause, listen, and then react to whatever feels appropriately. Maybe you should be blessed. Feel grateful you can afford that.
Well, that's just it.
You have the money, like to afford the car, and even if you don't have it, then to afford such a bill or whatever. Right. You know, because there are people out there that have nothing.
Right, and that's the key, is to look at the gratitude that you have, and the more you're in gratitude, the more you're going to receive. And I love how the angels prepared you yesterday for our talk today, and I want you to talk about it because it's so important. How you talked about nudging, and I'm talking about nudging today, and how they nudge us to get the information to us. So I really want you to talk about that. It's really important.
Well, I was driving home last night, and I was driving. A lot of times when we're driving, we're in like autopilot.
Yes.
You know, I mean, a lot of people notice that, like when you're driving, just all of a sudden you leave your destination, like, you know, work, whatever, and all of a sudden you're at home. You know how you got there a lot of times, you know. So I was just quiet my mind. Also had this I call it download. A lot of people call it download. Like, just like, you know, you get a thought. You know, and it was a pretty deep thought, and I felt it was very deep, and I was listening to it, like, you know, and I was like, you know what, it was coming like straight, you know, from the top of my head, and I was like, I had to record this. So I actually, you know, recorded. It was just, but I just had to let it channel through me, and I had to just voice it out, because I also felt that it was such a good thought that I wanted to record it. And it was actually, and we're just playing it. It was just everything that we wanted to talk about today. So it was my angels communicating directly to me, preparing me for whatever it was
today.
And I actually listened. You know, I actually listened and trusted. I was like, that is remarkable.
Yeah.
And it was a 6-minute download, and I really.
And I loved it because I got so excited because, you know, we talk about how you haven't always embraced your spiritual gifts and how you haven't always embraced the communication with your angels, and they were really showing you, listen, we really want to talk about angel communication today, and we're going to use you as a way to do it. And you felt that kind of stomping pressure on your head, and you paid attention to it, and you recorded what you were channeling. That is amazing. And again, from when we first began our journey together till now, it's amazing to see how far you've come in trusting that and listening to their voice, and look where it brought you today. I
felt a lot of energy, you know, and I'll just say that, you know, people in your life can be like angels, and you don't know that, you know?
Yes. So
it could be, you know, a really great person in your life that really influenced you. It could be someone really influenced you really in a negative way, you know, but that person was there in your life.
Right.
And they're there to guide you along as well. So God talks to you through people and angels.
Very true.
and we can't really see the angels, but we can sometimes. Some people can.
Some people can.
But some people can't, some people don't want to, you know? I think we all have the ability to see the angels, but the thing is that, you know, they reveal themselves from us because we don't like know how to react to
right.
To see an angel.
And everybody is different in how they communicate with angels. Everybody's different to where I am not comfortable seeing spirit or seeing angels. So they're not going to show me them in that way because it scares me. So the way they show me that they're with me is through signs, synchronicity. I hear them. I hear the voices. I see flashes of light out of the corners of my eyes, and I get high-pitched ringing in my ear, knowing that's them. That's how they communicate to you. So if that's what you're experiencing, know those are your angels talking to you and to pay attention to what they're trying to show you. A lot of times your angels will leave you 2 really specific numbers, and 444 is one of them and 222 is another one. 444 talks about how your angels are with you at that precise moment, guiding you, loving you unconditionally. 222 talks about how to have faith and that everything is working out in the divine timing for your highest and best good.
I just want to say that if you would doubt they existed, there's actually proof that angels do exist, and they do show themselves, and God showed himself. It's all in the Old and New Testament. It's all in the Old Testament, basically.
Yeah.
You know, the burning bush. You know, there's so many evidences of God showing himself to people. And the thing is that back, you know, in the biblical times, people were more susceptible to like hearing God's voice because you know why? There was a lot less distractions then.
Right.
They had no internets. They had no TVs. They had nothing.
Right.
And God communicated directly to a lot of people because they're open to
hearing it and to hearing it. And that's what your angels are doing today. But we have so many distractions around us that we're not paying attention. So pay attention, because every person that's brought into your life is brought there for a reason, whether it's to help you, teach you, help you grow, having you move on to something new. You know, every situation, look at license plates. They always give you a message, I promise. Pay attention to your license plates, because they do give messages. People's t-shirts. You're getting messages from the universe. Pay attention so it will guide you to where you need to go.
So we're going to close out this episode. So Kim has you bring your cards?
I did. I brought my cards. And again, the way I channel angels is I use cards sometimes. Sometimes I don't. But I like to use the cards when I'm in front of people because, one, it keeps me very grounded and it keeps me understanding what their message is. So today, the cards I'm going to use is the unicorn oracle cards. And the unicorns, nice, I love them because the unicorn represents unconditional love. And that's how your angels will love you. They don't judge you. They don't, they always leading you to a place of love. And that's how they want you to know that they're around you. So I'm just going to pull a card, and it's okay. And this is the card that, okay. The card's called Teamwork. Okay. So I love this card, and it's really about how your angels are in team with you. They are your partners. They are partners in crime with you. So when you are being guided to do something and you don't do it, then you're not holding up your part of the team. You can't have your angels, you can't say, angels, can you help me? And then they give you something to give you guidance with, and then you don't do anything with it. So your angels and your relationship is always teamwork. And together you will go to where you need to go. And I love that card because, you know, again, your angels are guiding you to work with people. There's so many light workers out there. You meet dozens of people that are here to help other people. And that's how they're going to help you, is through teamwork and showing you the signs that they're leaving for you as you go through your day and your life.
That is awesome. I just want to say that, so this week, you know, every day focus on angel communication and how do angels communicate to you in your life. So every day, you know, make yourself aware about the angels in your life.
Yeah.
And how can people do this, Kim?
Ask them for help. All you out loud in your brain, in your mind, just ask them for help and then let go. Don't dictate how they're going to help you, but just look for the signs around you for help. You know, I give a workshop on angels. It's called Angels 101. Mark, you've attended my workshops. You know, so just know that your angels are with you every single day. And the more you become aware and open, the louder they're going to become and the more they're going to start talking to you. So just be aware, because they're going to really start talking to you soon. Because
they'll feel more comfortable and they'll start revealing themselves to you more and more.
Yeah, and that's when you'll have to set boundaries.
And the voice will get, you know, the voice, you might be able to see them too.
Yes.
You know, so, but just start slow. You know, so every day when you get up each morning or whatever, just like, you know, quiet your mind.
Yeah.
Start the day, just quiet your mind and then see which way you're being guided before you get out of bed. It's something very simple. You know, it could be count for 5 seconds or whatever, see what you're feeling. So you can feel it that quickly and easily, you know. And then just like, you know, each day focus on, like Kim was saying about asking the angels for guidance, you know, and you know, you start with that. Start with the parking thing we talked about. Just play around with that for a little bit and play around with game with different things.
Right. And know that when you're asking the angels for help, it's a direct line to God. So it's not like you're just skipping over God and going to the angels instead. You know, we pray to God, but we're asking the angels for help because, again, God sends us the angels to help us because sometimes we can't hear the voice of God because of our fears. So just know that when you're asking for the angels for help, it's a direct line to the divine, to God. And so there is no difference.
So we're going to close out, and we'll see you, next week might be...
I won't be here next week. So, Mark, I feel you're going to have a guest.
I might have a surprise guest on next week, and all depends upon how things roll. So until next Saturday, have a blessed week.
Bye, guys.